Good morning to all of you. Now we'll go for different types of examples for the cloud. So in syllabus, you are having AWS cloud, then Microsoft Azure, and third one is a Google Cloud provider. So these are three types of cloud in your syllabus. That is unit number 3rd. So we'll go today. That is Microsoft Azure. Azure cloud, that is an infrastructure as a service model. So we are studying the infrastructure as a service model. That is a IaaS, and Azure is from the Microsoft. So module 1 is your Microsoft Azure overview, and second part is a cloud computing introduction in Azure. So what are the prerequisites for studying this Azure cloud? So we require Windows 7 or 10, Windows Server 2008 R2, and Windows Server 2012 R2. Then we require the Microsoft Azure PowerShell, Microsoft Visual Studio 2015 Update 2, and active Azure subscription. Okay, what is actually cloud computing pattern? So what is compute inactively period? So when it is on and off. So on and off workload, that is example of batch job. Over provisional capacity is wasted, time to the market can be consumed when it is on and off the workload. So this is a batch job. So it is a inactivity period. So at this time, it will consume the market of time of the market. Then second one is a growing fast. So growing fast. So how this pattern change? So growing fast, successfully service needs to grow, scale. Keeping up with growth is the big IT challenge. Cannot provision hardware fast enough. And third one was your unpredictable bursting, unexpected, unplanned peak in demand, sudden spike impacts performance, cannot over provision for extreme cases. And fourth one is a predictable bursting, services with micro seasonality trends, peaks due to the periodic increased demand, IT complexity, and waste capacity. So this is how the computing pattern change. Then what are the different types of models? So first one is the infrastructure as a service. Then second one is a platform as a service, and last one is a software as a service. So these are the types of model. So host is an example of infrastructure as a service. Then build any application is a platform as a service, and consume. So we are utilizing that application and we are operating that. That is nothing but the software as a service. Suppose you consider the example of email is an example of your software as a service. So here infrastructure as a service. So you manage here, and these are the managed by the vendor. So this is a on-premises and this is a cloud-based. So we are utilizing this what networking, storage, servers, and virtualization. These are the managed by the vendor. Vendor means a provider. And on-premises means user will manage. So this is OS, then middleware, runtime, data, and application. So this is an example, or it is nothing but your infrastructure as a service. So all these 5 application, data, runtime, middleware, and OS will be managed by the user. It is a on-premises, and this is on a cloud. You are utilizing these services. It is networking, storage, server, and virtualization. So this is the infrastructure as a service. Then packaged software, so which are everything packaged on. This is on premises only, means you are having your everything: networking, storage, server, virtualization, OS, middleware, runtime, data, and application. It is owned by, suppose, any company, XYZ company want to start the business, so it will purchase all these features. So package, this is on premises. These are the on premises, and here it is taking on the, whenever it is required, it is taking on the rent. For example, that is a networking, storage, server, and virtualization, and this will be his on-premises. So this is a infrastructure as a service. Now, in the platform as a service, you have to manage only data and application. You have to manage data and application. Remaining all services will managed by the cloud or managed by the vendor. Networking, storage, server, virtualization, OS, middleware, runtime. So everything will managed by the cloud provider or managed by the vendor. What you have to manage is only data and application, whichever application you want to run, and data regarding to that application you have to manage. So that is nothing but the platform as a service. Then last one is a software as a service, SaaS. So in this, everything will be managed by the vendor. User do not have to do, or user do not have to purchase any service or to design any service of its own. Everything will managed by the vendor, and user will pay for this. That is what application, data, runtime, middleware, OS, virtualization, server, storage, and networking. Everything will managed by the vendor in the software as a service. He will use the cloud application also. He will perform only the operation. So that is nothing but the software as a service. Then Microsoft Azure is one type of infrastructure as a service provider cloud. So in module 1, we will study Microsoft Azure overview and Microsoft Azure. So this is a hyperscale infrastructure of Azure is a enabler. So 27 regions worldwide of Microsoft Azure, 22 online use capacity around the world, growing every year. So here the regions are located all over the world. 27 regions are there of your Microsoft Azure. More than 100 data centers are there. Top 3 networks in the world. 2.5 AWS and 7x by Google, 7 Google data center regions, and G series largest virtual machine in the world, 32 crores and 448 GB RAM SSD. So these are the operational, and these are announced, not operational. They are in a phase of development. So operational, 27 regions are there. So in West US, it is in California, Iowa, Central East US government, Northern Central US, Unios, in India also, Singapore, then India West in Mumbai, it is in Mumbai, then Chennai and Pune, India Central. So these are the 3 regions in India also. So this is the structure of the infrastructure, hyperscale infrastructure of Azure. How are Microsoft Azure changes incurred? Pay only for what you use. So using the Azure, we have to pay for what we are using. So which are infrastructures we require? For that only we have to pay. If we are not using that, we do not require to pay anything. Then VM uses is by the minute. Then virtual machines, that is infrastructure service only, that are stopped in Microsoft Azure. Only storage charges are applied. Now if you stop the virtual machine on the Azure cloud, then only what type of storage you are used and what type of data you are used for the storage, then only you will charge for the storage. Microsoft Azure Enterprise Agreement billing process is different. So based on your billing process, you will get the billing. Then Microsoft Azure Compute. So what is there in Microsoft Azure Compute? We are having app service, cloud service, and virtual machine. That is a infrastructure as a service. So what are in the Microsoft Azure app service? App service fully managed platform in Azure for web, mobile, and integrated scenarios. This include web app, API apps, mobile apps, and logic apps. So in web app, enterprise grade web application. Then API apps, we are going for API apps in Azure app service are used to develop, publish, manage, and monetize the API. Mobile apps used to build the native and cross-platform apps for iOS and Windows app or the cross-platform Marine for or Cordova apps. Then logic apps allow developer to design workflow that articulate intent via a trigger and series of steps, each involving an app service API app. So these are the app services provided in the Microsoft Azure. Then cloud services, different types of cloud services provided by the Microsoft Azure. So first one is your role packages, highly scalable. So in role, a configuration pass to the Azure to tell Azure how many machines of which size and configuration to build for you. So in that web role, virtual machine with IS installed, worker role, virtual machine without IS installed, ability to mix together multiple role configuration with a single cloud service. Then packages. Source code binaries are packed and sent with the configuration files to Azure. It is a highly scalable, can exceed number of machine capabilities of app service, web app, cloud services, then allow RDP in individual virtual machine. Cloud services are also used to contain infrastructure as service in a virtual machine. Then high level view of virtual machine services. It is a compute resource. In that we are using the virtual machine and virtual machine extensions. Resource, a storage resource. So in that we are using blobs, tables, queues, and files functionality. Storage account. In that standard and premium storage are there. Networking resource, virtual network, network interface card, load balancer, IP addresses, network security groups are used. Management model for PaaS and infrastructure as a service. So this is the armed with resource provider. So here is the storage account. We are having the disks. Then these are the virtual machine. We were virtual machine 1 and virtual machine 2. Then we are having the network interface card for virtual machine 1 and virtual machine 2. And here is your load balancer. This is your load balance. So this is armed with resource provider. Then we'll go for demo management portal. This is the Microsoft portal in which we'll go for the create the account in a Azure.